Hey there. Sorry about that. I usually set an alarm and I forgot to because it's not my usual night. It's usually, I usually have it on Tuesdays. But this is a once a month thing. So I didn't set my alarm. Sorry. So here it is, 8:04. I just suddenly remembered I am supposed to be starting this. So um anyway, I was just playing around and seeing how some of these techniques would look. So, and they're going to look good. So I'm excited. All right. So hopefully everybody got the clue one and didn't have any trouble getting some of the supplies. I know I don't usually ask for metallic things, but this seemed like I based this off a design that I had and that I liked, and it did have to do with metallic. So I'm like, well, you know what? It's different, right? So, hey, Julie, I'm glad you're here. Anybody who's here, please say hi. I love to know who we're talking to. I know later on this will be posted and other people can try it themselves. And it's kind of nice sometimes. That way I know because you can stop and start. However, I'm going to be doing 2 cards at the same time that everyone else is going to be doing. So I have a feeling you'll be able to keep up with me just fine because I'm doing 2 for 1. So yay, Nancy's here too. Good. I know my mom had other plans tonight. Hopefully we'll have some more people. But like I said, I mean, at least we got a few people, and I'm sure we'll get some people, at a later time that are watching. So, all right. Well, oh, we got another friend. Great. Cool. So I'm going to flip the camera down so that we'll go over some of the supplies that we need. All right. So here we go. Oh, it's Bonnie. Hi, Bonnie. Oh, it's so nice to see you. Or, well, not really see you, I guess, right? We see your name, though. That's pretty cool. So, all right. I got all these things all piled up on my desk. So, all right, hopefully that will, oh, I got powder all over my directions here. All right, so I'm going to try to keep that here in the corner or side here. This big piece won't be there the whole time, but let's go over it. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to make a warm card and a cool colors card, I guess. And I'm going to show you a lot of different options that, depending on what your supplies are, you may want to try or use. Okay, so let's see. The first one, it says color 1, 1/2 inch by 3 7/8 piece of metallic cardstock or foil. So you hit copper, gold, silver. I even thought pearlescent would work, but I didn't try that. So, because that would kind of confuse things. But maybe you make the first one and go back and try a pearlescent one if you have some cool paper. Okay, so let's see. I'm going to do 1 in gold and 1 in silver. All right, so here's the 1/2 inch strip. Matching dot embellishments I have here. These are brushed metallic adhesive back. I love these. They're so cool. As you can see, I've used a lot of them up. An ink pad or heat embossing powder in this color, or an ink pad in similar color, like reddish brown for copper, gray for silver, mustard yellow for gold. So what I'm going to do is this one, I'm going to do, what's it called? The embossing powder. All right. So I've got some gold ready to go and Versamark to go with that. And then 3 and 5/8 inches by 4 and 7/8 cardstock foil paper, or you can use cardstock in the same similar color as your metallic strip. So here I have, these are all the things that I have in my gold color. All right, I'll put those off to the side. Now I'm going to do the same thing in silver, but this one I'm going to do a little differently. So I've got the strip. I'm going to use Smoky Slate for the ink pad, okay, which is similar, but it's not sparkly, I guess, or shiny. This will be the cardstock foil paper, or cardstock rather than foil paper. And then I have these little embellishments that are silver to go with this. Okay, so that's my color 1. So color 2. So I'm going to use white cardstock in those measurements for that one. I'm going to do vanilla for the other one. All right, and then the color 3 is the card base. So I'm going to use Pacific Point for, and what I did was I made 11 by 4 1/4 and folded in half. And the Magenta Madness, which is being discontinued. We only have less than a week to, or about a week to order this if you want. So, all right, and this one was a card base that just folds in half like this. All right, so, and then an ink pad to go with that. So here's my Magenta and here's my Pacific Point. And then colors 4 and 5. All right, so these two need to, I hope I didn't confuse people completely on that. I was trying to make it easier, but I could imagine that people looked at that and I'm like, what? Hopefully you didn't. So, oh my goodness, oh, that's why, because my pads are over here because I was playing with it. All right, so I am going to do colors 4 and 5. I'm going to do pumpkin pie to go with my magenta. All right, here. And then, okay, so basically when I said needs to coordinate with colors 1 and 3, which I thought these would go okay. And then my suggestion, this is just my suggestion. So this is color 3. So the one across the color wheel from that, this is light red. So across the red is green. All right, so I picked the complement. All right, and then you could pick analogous color, which is a color next to color 3, or you could be next to color, this other color that we chose. So you could do a blue because it's next to a green, or you could do an orange because it's next to a red. I hope that made any sense at all. But that is just a really good formula for cards. You'll see that in, I mean, try it and see what you think of my formula. I don't know. All right, so you could do that, or I'm going to do kind of a monochromatic type of thing. I've got 2 shades of blue-green kind of colors. So Coastal Cabana and Bermuda Bay to go with my Pacific Point. All right, I think those will look good. So, all right, that's all my colors. Other things you need: 1/2 inch or 1 to 2. That's not half. 1 to 2 small bold stamps that relate. Actually, you need 2. I don't know why I said 1. So they need to be relatively small. So on the blues one, I'm going to do these snowflakes. So I'm going to get a slightly bigger one and a slightly smaller one. And those are from Snowflake Wishes, which has been discontinued, but it's a really nice one. I don't know. I don't think it's still available. I'm not sure. Okay. And then, so these are both snowflakes. So they're the same thing, just different versions of it. A speckle stamp, maybe something you'd use to make sand, tiny stars, snowflakes, whatever. So I've got these tiny snowflakes that can go on that with that. A greeting word stamp up to 2 inches wide and 5/8 inch tall. This is right on the edge of being too big tall wise, but it was okay. So now on this side, these are the cool colors card. I'm using Artistically Inked, which, by the way, is one of the, it's a bundle. We are going to continue it, but it's not going to be a bundle after next week. So if this and the dies that come with it are of interest to you, and they're pretty fancy, they're these. Okay. I don't have magnets for everything, but those are really fancy and cool. So if you wanted those together and get 10% off, this would be your chance for another week. But if not, you can still get it, which is good news. All right, so the ones I'm going to use from that are I'm going to use a leaf. I'm going to use this kind of medium flower. All right. What kind of makes me think of it? Ranunculus. I believe that's how it's pronounced. Those kind of flowers. All right. So, and then I'm going to use this. This comes with it. Just kind of literally a speckle. All right. And then I've got this word hello, which will be perfect for this. All right. So, and by the way, that Let It Snow came from Snowman Season. I can fit these, but it would take up the whole space, which would be fine if you want to do that, but it's not what my directions say. All right, you also need sticky notes, I often call them Post-its, adhesive, Stampin' Dimensionals, and scissors. Now, if you wanted to, I don't want to call it cheat, but take a shortcut, one thing you could do is to find some kind of pattern paper that matches the card base and the metallic color and cut it into 3.5-inch square as opposed to stamping it like we're going to do. Okay, so that's an option. It's a shortcut. Or if you're like going to make a whole bunch of cards, that's an option. Just want to throw that out there. Okay, that's a lot, right? You know what? Can't forget this. You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. By the way, we are having a stamp camp. They are back, but it's going to be a bunch of new things. We've got Silver Creek Church. Jill got us permission to have it there, which I'm really excited about because our barn, is not temperature controlled. So, sorry, we're not making 3. This was before I started. So we're making 2. Where's my pencil? Oh, goodness. So it's $10 to make 2. So here's the reason. I am making tons of cards monthly, and it was always a struggle to get that 3rd card done before everything. So what I'm going to do is do $10 to make 2, and then I'm going to give you some extra stuff. All right? I'm going to give you like a grab bag or door prizes. Okay? So I think that'll be fine. And you can get kits if you need it. But all right, more information's on my website, youcanstamp.com. All right, so finally, I just wanted to point that out because the deadline for that is coming up. I'd really like to know by Thursday. All right, and you can even sign up online and pay with PayPal or a credit card. PayPal lets you do it with a credit card. So for your convenience, you can do that. All right, so here we go. Clue 2. All right, and you know what, Bonnie? I'm looking at this. You're welcome to just watch tonight. I'm glad you're here too. All right, so let's get started. Use the Post-its to block off about 1 1/4 on the white or vanilla cardstock so that you have a roughly square shape showing. All right, so here's my Post-its. What I'm trying to make kind of a square. All right, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Fortunately, we have something that's going to go over that border, so if it ends up being crooked, who cares? All right. But I would leave enough room for your words, whatever they end up being. All right, so there's that one. Let's see. Put it. And then, sorry, got all these piled up things here. Right, and then this one. It would help to be, I like the closer you can get to what you're looking for, the better. But, in my old age, I'm realizing being a perfectionist, it really is more stress than it's necessary. So, okay, so these are the 2. Maybe I'll do it like that. All right, okay. So, I blocked it off. Here we are. That's clue 2. That's all we had to do. Now, clue 3, though, we need to get color 4 and color 1 ink ready. All right. And I have a trick for you that we don't necessarily do it that way. All right, so I'm going to do color. I didn't practice this one, but I think we'll be fine. So this is color 1 for this card. And then this is color 4. All right. And for this one, this is going to be color 4. And, oh, then my trick. Okay, so let's do this one. We're going to do the bigger snowflake. All right, so that will go, oops, I'm going to stamp that in the color. You may want to stamp off. And then around the edge, we're going to rock and roll. So this gets to just around the edges, just a little bit. All right. And then you can stamp it. All right. Does that kind of look like it's got a little bit of silver on the edges? All right. Then I'll get some of the extra off there. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to stamp. If it seems too bright, you can stamp off and you can rock and roll. See how I'm going kind of like rolling my wrist so you get it on the edges. The alternative you could do, and you can go off the edges here. The alternative you could do is stamp, and then I'm going to stamp off. And then I have a sponge dauber. I did not mention this before, but this is another possibility. So you can sponge in there and you can just sponge the edges if you are worried about your pad getting contaminated. I get it. All right. Sometimes you gotta moisten that up again. It doesn't work quite as well, but it does work. All right. So I'm going to leave that one out. All right. Then we need to, oh, you're supposed to clean your stamp in between. That's kind of important, actually. I just stamped off a bunch of times to try to get extra ink off. So you should do that. Now, for this one, it's going to be even more important. So what I'm going to do is stamp with color 4. I'm going to stamp this one 3 times. All right, now I didn't do any of the rock and rolling because what I'm going to do, I've got everything piled on top of my cleaning thing. This is my Stamp and Chamois. All right, so I'm going to get that clean. That's important between the color and my Versamark because I finally have a Versamark pad that's clean. In the past, I've had one and it never failed. Someone would just go plop into my clear ink with some dark color and then it was like forever stained. So I've been really careful with it and it still looks good. All right, so I've cleaned that off. Let's test it on a paper just to make sure. Yeah, it looks decent. All right, so what I'm going to do now, I'm going to rock and roll in the Versamark. All right. All right, now I'm going to try really hard. If you have something like this little plop, or the doesn't have to be perfect, but it does look a little bit better if you do. I am not a fan of stamping on top of things, especially that are not clear. If you have a photopolymer stamp, that would be better. All right. The other thing you can do, well, it is what it is. All right, so now I'm going to, I don't want that to dry, so I'm going to do this right now. All right, so I'm going to put some, did I rock and roll the other two? I just realized. I don't think I did. I think I just stamped it. Well, not the end of the world. Here's what you can do. because it is not heated yet, you can just take your finger and kind of like get a bunch of that off in the middle. Okay. This is just an option. If you have the colors, I showed you those other ways to do it, okay? I definitely overdid it there. All right. You know what I'm going to do? I don't like how that's not even, so I'm going to take even more off. All right. All right, so it's kind of a messy look, but all right. Now, my other one turned out a little bit better, I'll be honest. Okay, then, oh, see, there's more like all the powder. Oh, you didn't see that, did you? All right, so after that, use color 5 stamp pad and color 1, so we can put away our 4s. And get out our 5s, but leave one. If you're doing this with me, I don't think you're going to have an issue with this, but I apologize to people who are finding this confusing. I really hope it's not, but especially with me doing 2. But you just want to give you options, right? I mean, I don't know. That's my thought. All right, so then you might want this for being underneath. All right, so I'm gonna do the smaller snowflake this time. Okay, and you know what? I can stamp off on the Post-it note. I might do the all right, and then we do another couple if you can. Once you set this up for 1, it's not going to be you know, you can do more cards later without a lot of trouble. One more, you think, right? Let's get that off. And then stamp. I will stamp one off. In fact, oh, you know what would have been cool? What if we rock on that? All right, that might help. less ink on the edges, we can replace it with this. All right. Yeah, that would work. All right, so that's 7 items. I wish I'd kind of scooched a couple of these that way a little bit more, but that's what it is. All right, so I'm done with that. Actually, I might need this one again. I'll come back to it. But I am done with this for sure. All right, so that is the star now, or snowflake. Let's do this with leaves. All right, so make sure it's clean. All right, so let's stamp this. Probably, well, it looks like I did 5, but, you know, whatever you think you need. All right, so there, that's what we did. That's our clue 3. All right. Oh, actually, I want to put some gilding on this one too. Although I kind of like it without it. Kind of reminds me of that one pack of designer series paper we have. It goes with this set actually. What you can do, this leaf is a lot easier than the other one actually. So if you take this leaf and you just take the corner and then you line up just the corner, even if you stamp the whole thing. Oh, I think the other one, the other side, but I will. Just doing the tip of it. And I can kind of line this up better, being that it's smaller. So if you have some kind of gold ink, you wouldn't have to do all this, but this is an option, okay? All right. All right. Keep that on there. What's really pretty is when you do that in the light. I think that's cool. All right, now clue 4. All right, with any color ink, stamp the sticky part of more Post-its with both bold stamps and cut them right on the edges. Place each one over a stamped image on the white vanilla cardstock to mask them off for the next step. So I've done 3 of these, so I want to do 3 more. So I already stamped this twice. It doesn't matter what color ink. Where did the rest of my Post-it notes go? Well, I do have more. Here's a shortcut. If you want to pull off 2 at a time, stamp on 2 at a time, and then pull 2 off instead of putting them together like that after the fact. If I had my pad which I did about 2 minutes ago, I could do that. So now I'm going to cut out masks. And it doesn't have to be super perfect. Just pretty good. So when I do the snowflakes, I'm definitely not going to be super careful with that one. All right, so then you can take this. We've got two. So there's that little bump out there. So I'll put that right there on top of it. Okay, and then I can put this one right there. See, that's my shortcut. All right, and then let's do this one. That wasn't too bad, right? Just make sure you have some kind of landmark. All right, there. Okay, and then I'll put that right there. All right, so now I've got those covered. Aha! No, that isn't the whole pad, but I did stamp some leaves, and I did cut two out already. All right, and then that can go. See, once you have a set of these, then you could make more than, you know, one card. It won't take as long because you'll be already halfway there. This is time consuming for the first one. So this would be a good one to do multiple, or, you know, like I mentioned, the shortcut, you could always do that. Oh, good. I'm still in the picture. Oh, goodness. There we go. So, yeah. So, I don't know. Did everyone enjoy their weather? I hope they did. Here in Northeast Ohio, we had such nice weather the past weekend. It started going downhill today when it rained, but you know, I'll take it, right? No, it's supposed to get yucky again in the next couple days, so. All right, there's that one. So let me just show you how I got these masked, and now I'm going to take the speckle stamp and then do the Magenta Madness. All right, because this is color 3. Oh, I'm sorry. This is all clue 4. I'm jumping jumping ahead. All right, so that one's already with 4. Oh, look, it's hiding. Here's my thing. Here's my snowflakes. I got the ink off. I'm just going to do this Coastal Cabana. Doesn't matter. All right, I'll do a big one. Maybe I'll cut 3 out of this. Okay, save some time. Oh gosh, there we go. It's tight. All right, so 1, 2, 3. I should have cut these out ahead of time, but I know you guys are going to probably be working on yours, so you hopefully will be at a close stage as me, because I would imagine when you haven't, don't have the design in your mind like I do, that might take you a little longer for some things. All right, so there we go. Look how easy that is. Whew, love it. That didn't take that long at all, did it? All right. These might be a little trickier because they're smaller and they don't have as much to they're more like all the sticky part of the Post-it. But I'm not being too perfect with that. And I have 4, so I could actually it'll be worth it, don't worry. And then that. I might even just move one for this last one. Why don't I do that? Because we don't all want to be here forever. All right. So I believe, wow, these are tight pads today. I'm not sure why. All right. So here we are, ready for clue number 5. All right. Using the color 3 stamp head and your speckle stamp, lightly fill in the areas between your bold stamp image. You can stamp on the Post-its mask. Okay, so that's where I was going with it. Here's my speckle for that, which is literally speckles. So you can kind of, don't have to go too nuts with it, but you can stamp on the Post-it where then you can kind of make them a little more different, if that makes sense. All right. I'll leave that. All right, and then I'm going to do the Pacific Point here with some tiny snowflakes. Okay. And I'm stamping on top of some of these masks. You can't. It's okay. All right. I'm going to even stamp a little bit off here. Kind of light in the background. Wow. All right. So that's like lots of layers of them. All right. That's that. See, some of these take a long time. Some of these steps, but some of them don't. But I couldn't really, I don't know. The way I divided the clues seemed like the smartest. Okay, so number 6. Pull off all the Post-it notes now. All right, so we're done with this and these. The reveal. I always like that. All right, and then this one. They're not as cool as I was hoping that one would be, but you know, we can't do everything perfect the first time, right? So wow, that's fancy, huh? I like that. All right, so let's get these out of the way. I'm down to those. All right. Another quick step. Okay, and last, clue 7. We're going to assemble. All right, so let me get out. I have my, this is my stamp and seal. Multi-purpose glue will work. Double stick tape will work. All that. All right, so attach the white cardstock to the color 1 cardstock piece. So for this one, that's going to go on there. Okay, so, oops. I'll just, but I really appreciate people sticking with me here. I know you have lots of other things you could do tonight, but I appreciate you being here with me. And I know most of you come tomorrow night too, so that's even better. Hopefully you're doing other things. Well, not tonight. Tonight you should be making a card. But, you know, other nights, maybe you're folding laundry or something like that. So, all right, and then this will go on. Oh my goodness. No, I did make, I was like, did I make this piece? I did. This one is all gold. I almost hate to do such a big piece of gold foil and having all that covered up. One thing you can do a lot of times is if you're going to use a big piece like that, you could do something out of the center where no one will see it, and that'll use your paper more efficiently. Kind of a cool trick I learned. All right. Oh, look at that. It's starting to improve this drastically. Isn't that cool? Ooh, the shimmer. Okay. Adhere the strip of metallic cardstock over the bottom edge of the cardstock above the words. Wait. Did I forget to do the words? Oh, pull off the post-it notes, stamp the greeting. Okay, so we had to do the words. Sorry. This is going to be in my fake silver, which is my smoky slate. And I'm going to do, I'm going to do Let It Snow. All right, I'm going to do that a little to the right near the bottom. With the square on top. All right, and then the other one I'm going to stamp with Versamark because I'm not using gold ink, but there. And then I will I found a paintbrush because I was tired of my big fat fingers knocking stuff off. I should have, before I stamped this, actually done my Stampin' Buddy because it's actually right here and just being lazy. So, but I got enough of the other speckles. And being this sort of a speckled card, I don't think it's going to be, I think it's a forgiving kind of card. My adhesive underneath all warmed up too, but all right. Okay, so there are the words. So back to 7. Here the strip of metallic cardstock over the words. So here's the silver. That's going to go right above it, and it's going to stick out a little bit, which mine barely does for some reason. Don't know why, but it's fine. My gold. Oh, right there. That one's longer. Maybe I cut the that wrong. Anyway, that's going to go over the word with it sticking out a little bit. And I might make mine a little bit higher. Whoops. All right. And then this one. Okay. I didn't eat much for dinner. Apologize if you hear anything. All right. Raise all this up with the dimensionals, and stick to the card base front. So I'm going to use big dimensionals because I am impatient. I did this with my students. I decided to use these instead of any kind of sticky glue because on their pastels on Friday, and they love these. So here's a new. Let's put that. So it was a very low fuss mess way of doing those pastels, and it was a gorgeous day, and we were able to spray fix things outside, and it was just a great day. So all right, now we can put these on the card base front. So we did all the hard work, and you now have the masks if you want to do that again. And you probably could do a whole bunch in a row if you wanted to make a bunch of these. So yeah, some of these steps took a million years, it seemed like, but other ones went really fast. So, and here we're almost done. This one's going to go on the pink. Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, and that's going to go right here. So, see how that color 3 pops out the little speckles from behind? It brings that out, brings it all together. All right, and finally, use your dot elements to create a scaling triangle and ultimately a path for your eye to the words. So what that means is I'm going to start up in that. We always start the upper left hand, at least us English speakers, start in the upper left hand corner as we read, and then we come down to the bottom right corner. So I'm going to let's go kind of directly. I'm going to actually put an interesting little spot here. All right. And I like, this is kind of a cool tension point right on the edge of that is what I would recommend. So we have one in the upper left hand corner, one there. Now the definition of a scaling triangle is all 3 sides are different lengths. Okay. So there's one length. And so let's make another one. You can make that closer to that one, or you can make that closer to that one. Your call. Okay, but now our eye goes like this. Does that make sense? Over to the words. All right, and that card is done. So then let's use these silver pearls. These are being discontinued too. So if you like them, which I do, get them while they're available. I'm going to put one right here, and then one more there. Maybe. So let's see. Maybe I'll make this one over here. All right, so I made it the other way. So this is a different length than this, which is a different length than that. All right, but that still brings us that way. All right, so there's my two examples of the same design using different techniques, slightly different techniques, different options, I guess. So hopefully that didn't confuse you too much, but if you were going with either one primarily, hopefully you were focused on that. And I would love to see what you make yourself. So please post things on the website. All right, like where under the video, there should be a way that you can click and add a picture. So I'd love to see what everyone else made. And anyone who does that will be in the running to get one of these cards that I made here tonight. I will give it to you. All right. So please do that. That's one of my ones down here. That's my last one. Goodness. Post your mystery card creations under this video. So the card design that inspired me this month was hiding right here. And so this is the one that inspired me. So I had copper for that. And it's a really nice fall leaves one. And I rolled it in like this darker brown, this reddish brown, sort of. And used these speckles this came with that stamp set that matched the back, which in this case was Bermuda Bay. And then I used these I just think it came out pretty well. So hopefully you see my formula and you were able to do your own. All right. Be sure to check out youcanstamp.com and follow my blog. Check out the online store and use through the host code box or from the pull down menu. And here's the code. Well, it's right here too. If you're buying anything under $150, please use this code because that helps me collect more free available things to demonstrate. That really helps me. But if you're buying over 100, consider joining so that you get way more for your money plus a future discount and access to the latest Stampin' Up! News and ideas as joining, basically. That kit is whatever you want it to be. It's basically $125, $4.99 of whatever you want. Okay, so if you've been stamping for a long time and you already have the basics, then you can get something else, which is, I think, a really great thing that Stampin' Up! Offers. And then come back tomorrow night if you can. At 8 o'clock, I'm going to be demonstrating some more awesome stuff, awesome cards, designs, techniques, all sorts of fun things. So I think we usually have an interesting time with that. The past two could have been a lot better. I agree, but working on. This is just a really busy week. I can't even tell you. I'm subbing every single day, and I've got things after school in the evenings. I've got a giant meeting. It's like boom, boom, boom this week. So hopefully I'll be rested enough for tomorrow, though. So, and finally, have a blast stamping. That's the most important thing on this list. All right. I hope you had fun tonight. And that you continue to have fun, and maybe you'll use this design for some other cards. Maybe do that shortcut and have some printed paper and do it this way. But these are some options, and yeah, can't wait to see what you guys come up with. So, and again, if you're interested if you're in the Northeast Ohio area and want to come to the stamp camp on April 30th at noon, we're having that. Please go to my website and you can use the PayPal link to pay for that, or you can let me know by email how else you wanted to pay for that. That's not the only way. I know not everybody's into credit cards and that sort of thing. All right, time to go. So have a great night, and I'll hopefully see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.